Hello, welcome again to the Through the Ages World Championship Semifinals. Last time I showed you the last of the 3-player games. That was very recently actually, because this first 2-player game went very fast. As I said, I only had today some time to do the recording, otherwise it would have to wait until next week, but Wanderlust is very fast, so we finished this game in 2 days, which is the appropriate time for a game of Through the Ages, I think. So thanks to Wanderlust for being so fast. And the standings, as I showed them at the end of last video, are here. And I was now in a quite comfortable lead after the 4 and 3-player games are finished. I'm 7 points ahead of Wanderlust and 10 points ahead of Saru, which means if I win this game against Wanderlust, I'm already qualified for the finals of the World Championship, which would be really great. Of course, if Wanderlust wins, then he comes 4 points closer, and then I need to basically win as many games as, at least as many games as Wanderlust in the remaining 2 games. Alright, so very tense game. This could be the deciding game. Let's get to it. And I'm in the first position, but let's show the leaders and others real quick. For 2-player, I do want to have a quick look at the H2 leaders in particular, because the overpowered cultural leaders have quite a bit of influence on the game. And there's no Shakespeare, there's no Bach, but there is Darwin, also no Gaudi. So only one culture leader in the game basically. The others don't produce any culture. There's also the ocean liner, it's also kind of relevant, no Suez. Alright, and I'm in first position, taking the engineering genius. I could consider one of the wonders, of course, but there will be a wonder available for me next turn. If Wanderlust goes for the Stonehenge, and pyramids will be on one. If he takes library, I can get Stonehenge for one at least. And there will also be a leader. If he doesn't go Cleo, then I can take her and do something. Boudica probably doesn't go to one, or he would have to take Stonehenge and Moses, and I don't think he'll be so accommodating. So, but yeah, just taking engineering genius. Otherwise, if I take library, for example, he could get engineering genius plus Stonehenge, which is a bit too much value. And then Wanderlust will take Stonehenge over library. Interesting. Stonehenge is also very good, of course. I think I prefer library. And this way pyramids drops to 1, so I'm not sure if this helps him at least. But pyramids is a bit worse with Cleo than Stonehenge. On the other hand, I have the engineering genius, so with that it actually works fine, so not sure. But yeah, I go pyramids. But if I want to, I can just build a lab now, of course, and then next turn build a mine and get the first step. So that's a clean Cleopatra start. And Wanderlust goes for Boudica and builds the mine and pops, uses the frugality. There is a bit of a problem here, the code of laws, which is dropping to 2. As I said, it's a very clean start now to just pop, build the mine, build the first stage, but then I'm giving away code of laws for 1 civil action. He has the Stonehenge, it's just really good for him. Code of laws is also just maybe the best H1 tech in 2-player game. So I don't want to gift it to him. I see the knowledge of the ancients. He has a Stonehenge, so he has a bit more science already. And yeah, Stonehenge is maybe also not the first wonder or quick wonder to finish. You can leave it a bit longer. I am more likely to finish my wonder earlier, so I think it's an advantage for me to have this card in the deck. And then, yeah, as I said, it will be clean to build the mine now, but I will build the stage, but not the mine, in order to take the Code of Laws for 2. Unfortunately, there was also another reason not to do this. I'm giving him the irrigation for 1, which is not the most important tech to have early on, but yeah, still it gives him something to do. So I was not too thrilled about just giving him this for 1 action now. But as I said, I think I can't really give him the code, so. Development of crafts is revealed. Wanderlust takes the irrigation and immediately goes for 1 upgrade. And that's the turn. Then it's my turn. With him having irrigation, I think both Good Harvest and Pestilence are pretty bad now. But I kind of want to push, so or I don't. So never mind. I guess my turn will not make it nice if extra resources are revealed. So I finished the pyramids and built a mine. And then I'll take the breakthrough, and I have to pop to get out of corruption. Yeah, so I really want this breakthrough, of course. Really want to build the mine and finish the pyramids as well, so that leaves me with only 1 civil action to pop and get out of corruption. And as you see, if I got extra stuff, then I would be short civil action. I wouldn't be able to take this breakthrough perhaps, or yeah. So yeah, as I said, Good Harvest and Pestilence are pretty bad events now, so I will discard them. Wanderlust takes the Engineering Genius from H1 and then builds 2 stages. He took the Science from Boudica and just popped. So not too much relevant on the row. He didn't take Columbus, which is a bit notable, I guess. And then I'll take the Great Wall here. I used the Code of Laws. I researched it, I developed it. I could also have gone for alchemy, which would also be a way to use Cleo's resources. But I will do that next turn and go for the code first. And then just build a step here to use Cleo's resources, and then I can get out of corruption by popping. And I'll take the alchemy in hand. And like this I can go for alchemist next turn. I'll reveal a fighting band, so I can keep this pretty neutral event and the defense cards. Extra science comes out, and Wanderlust goes for theocracy and finishes the Stonehenge. I see the cultural influence now, and development of trade routes comes out. I'll finish the Great Wall, kinda have to do this to get out of corruption. This is something I saw, I think the previous turn, that Gutenberg was coming down the row, and that I would be able to go for him. So I'll go for Gutenberg. I think it's a really nice really nice leader for this setup I have. I have the alchemy already, and that's also part of why I wanted to take it, because I could get some Gutenberg fun going on. I'll take the printing press with a normal action, and then also the warfare, and develop the alchemy. The reason I take the warfare here, thinking, not sure. I am eyeing this masonry for sure. It would be really nice to have it, but um, taking the warfare kind of makes it easier for him to take it. But I'm putting Zitska on the 6, so that's something good at least. Yeah, I think one of the reasons was there's Robespierre in the game, so um, I like having warfare when I have when Robespierre is there. Uh, Also, with no, yeah, only one culture leader, it's a bit more likely that I end up going Robespierre perhaps. So yeah. Mm, Not sure. I feel like there has to be some more reason why I take this warfare, but I don't know. And also the Ensis comes out, which scores me one more science. It's good. And then he has to take the Zitska for 2. I think that was probably the main reason actually. And then gets uses the Boudica resources and upgrades the farm. Now we're both at 5 strength. I will see the developed territory that I drew. And cultural influence comes out, which I wasn't too thrilled about because now the 2 unknown events are still there. And yeah, it also scores him 3 more culture, of course. It's not great. But yeah, if he seeded a strength event, it would have been nice to see it now, of course. Then I develop the masonry and get an upgrade with Gutenberg for just 1 rock. It's very cheap. And then breakthrough culture. Yeah, I just want to take all the science. And then I also take the swordsman. Could have taken drama, but there's no Shakespeare, no Bach, no Dietrich. Don't really think drama is looking good in this setup. So I just take the swordsman, which with the great wall I want to go for infantry, of course. So being sure to have a way to go for H2 tactics, I think it's pretty important here. And yeah, just taking the science cards. Oh yeah, it's kind of relevant. I'm not taking this iron here. But yeah, there's another copy, and I felt like I just really needed extra science. Also need to go for an H2 government, obviously. So, or maybe this monarchy even. We'll see. So there's still a lot of things I need to invest in, like iron irrigation, government. So yeah, still need more science. Bro. And Wanderlust gets the iron. And sadly, this copy is in an annoying spot, I think, if it takes one more. No, he doesn't. But yeah, but there is the monarchy, which is also nice and does come to the 6. And then the iron is right after that, so that's a bit annoying. I kind of want to go for the monarchy here because I have this pretty nice 6 and 2 going on. A monarchy will just make it 7 and 3, and that's just yeah, 1 to 3rd military action, and then with 7 civil actions plus the Gutenberg even, I'll have plenty for pretty much the entire game. I have the signs for the monarchy as well, so it just makes a lot of sense to go for it here. But then I also have to take the iron for it too, so that's a bit annoying. So I'll go for the monarchy, and then I'll get the Gutenberg activation here. I went for alchemist before printing press, by the way. I didn't mention this earlier when I researched the alchemy. It was also an option to go for printing press. But I saw that with the population, I would only have enough for 1 printing press. And then I felt it was a bit better to go for the 2 upgrades first. Otherwise, I'm like 1 science. I have like 1 science less if I go for the printing, or maybe more, I don't know. Like it slows me down a bit if I can only go for 1 printing press and then have to do the upgrade. Or I have to skip on Gutenberg activations, of course, but I kind of want to do this. So now I don't have the science for iron actually, so I'm one short, so I'd have to take it, play this, develop it, but then I'm out of action, so I can't go for an upgrade now, which is annoying. And it's also very late, so basically I decided to skip the iron, uh, feeling it wasn't worth spending 2 actions on now. And instead I'm taking this Forbidden City, which will make me my government even bigger, make it even more long-lasting, let's say. And then I pop thing to get out of corruption, yeah. And yeah, it's just nice, the Forbidden City. I think it's a strong wonder. It's good to have a way to cover my unhappy people here. There's also Darwin in the game, so yeah, don't want to rely on religion. And there's only one team sports, so this is kind of nice to have, and yeah, can help me go for operas later on by because operas don't provide enough happy faces by themselves. So yeah, even though I'm low on rocks, um, I will be able to finish it fairly soon, I think. Turn after the next turn probably. And there's also not that many important wonders. There is, of course, the ocean liner, but I don't care too much about the rest. Railroad could be nice if I get the goal, but that's also a big if, of course. And yeah, Louvre is the Louvre, and statue, yeah, is okay. But so I'm fine with having just a wonder under construction now. Just hoping the ocean liner isn't there too early. The ocean liner is there. And then Wanderlust just goes for some upgrading. Makes sense, of course, when it's the start of H2 that you want to do your upgrades. And I missed what I just seeded. Yeah, no idea. We'll see. Scientific breakthrough comes out, which actually is nice for me, and it's one of the events that Wanderlust seeded. And I'll go for the strategy now. Yeah, it makes me stronger. There's still an unknown event there. Means this warfare is not needed now or not used. But I think it's just nice to have this strategy. And then I'll use Gutenberg to develop this. And actually I built one as well, so not sure. No, I use Gutenberg for the build and I developed it manually, let's say, because I'm shorter on rocks than on science. Yeah, and actually I figured this was really nice because by using the one rock now, um, I mean using the Gutenberg for and building the one rock printing press now, that leaves me with 5 rocks, so I can finish the Forbidden City, and then this one will no longer be unhappy and can also go to the printing press next turn. So that's why I skipped on a Gutenberg activation actually and just went for a bit quicker. And then I take a patriotism and apply the cultural heritage. I want to keep the ocean liner on the 6 to make it difficult for him to get. Even though he also has already a lot of population, so it's maybe not that important for him. But yeah, he's on 4 civil actions, so making it expensive for him, I think makes sense. Draw tactics actually. I already had a defensive army, which was actually important. And then Wanderlust doesn't take the ocean liner but goes for scientific method, which I think makes sense. He already had food and rock production, so just going for science now, being civil action efficient because spending 7 on the ocean liner is just difficult. 7 actions is just difficult for him. So I think it makes sense to just do the action efficient stuff, and he takes the cavalryman in hand. I have only the popularization of science which I concede, which is now not looking that great with him having scientific method, but I'll see it anyway. It shouldn't be too much of a difference, and I just wanted to push out this event just in case it was a strength event. Yeah, and it's also just 2 culture proceeding. It's a new deposits, which isn't great for me. So now, yeah, I actually have 3 extra rocks after doing what I wanted to do. And now I was considering Newton. Newton will be very good for him. He already has a scientific method, and he's low on civil actions, so the civil actions will help him a lot. So I was strongly considering taking him away. He's fine for me. I already have quite a bit of science, but yeah, a little bit extra can't hurt. And yeah, civil actions same basically, but mostly it would be to make sure he doesn't have him. On the other hand, there's Darwin in the game, and I thought Darwin is just really good. I have this Gutenberg setup. Yeah, I think Darwin is the strongest leader in this H2 leader in this in what we have here, and I didn't want to deny myself the option of going for Darwin, so that's why I didn't take Newton, even though I knew it was going to help Wanderlust a lot to get Newton. With finishing the Forbidden City, I can actually take the ocean liner. And I also take an efficient upgrade and reserves. I just need extra rocks. There was also the coal on the row, and even James Watt is also on the row, so this was also a direction I could have gone. But in the end, I decided, yeah, like this, the coal will stay on 2 for him. If he wants to deny it, yeah, he has to spend 2 actions. He doesn't have too many actions. So I think it's fine to let him deny it. I have a huge action advantage, so I can just take all the yellow cards and have my rock income from yellow cards basically. So I kind of had to choose between ocean liner and coal. I could technically take both, but then I'm not actually doing anything yet. Like I'm not getting these cards, or yeah, if I have to take water as well, it's even my full turn. So that's a bit ugly, and yeah, I think it's better to just take the yellow cards and allow him to deny the call for 2 actions if he wants to. And if he doesn't, I do have the efficient upgrade in hand now, so I can go for a call. If it's denied, this efficient upgrade might still be useful because I still have Gutenberg now. Maybe I can pick up the journalism and use it for that. Draw Cold War and Autonomous, and I also have colonization card in hand. And then Wanderlust actually reveals the medieval army here, takes Newton and Justice System, and then goes for Newton and Justice System. Reveals the develops the cavalryman, so he can go for that medieval army, and he does deny the call. So yeah. And we're both at 8 strength now. I see the autonomous. I will actually go for navigation. Oh yes, that's this one. I see it earlier. I bid 5 for this, and actually won it for exactly that, so spending my cards, which is fine. And then I'll go for that navigation now. I'm actually developing it mostly for hand space reasons, I think. Don't know if this is his event, Wanderlust event probably. One of these was mine, but I forgot what it was. And I just see it autonomous, and so both of these are mine actually. And the other is popularization of science. I don't know which one was the other. Uh, I'll take the breakthrough, the cannons, and the patriotism. Yeah, I need to have the cannons, of course. I have to go for this defensive at some point. Um, and yeah, breakthrough and patriotism for one are just no-brainers at this point. So there is also the journalism on the row, and actually I will take it for pretty expensive. Have to make space and get the swordsman out. So yeah, paying 2 real actions plus the Gutenberg one. But next turn I have that efficient upgrade, as I said, and I don't really want to give it to him, although he can go for opera for the culture, so maybe it doesn't matter too much. But yeah, being able to use that efficient upgrade now that the coal is gone, I think it's pretty important. Don't need the selective breeding. I'm still at +1 food production actually, so the ocean liner should be fine for a while, until I get to the -1 to this spot in the yellow bank. That's still a while, so don't need the breeding. Yeah, think yeah. I also calculated a bit about my resource use, I guess, but yeah, we'll see that. Oh yeah, and I have to get out of corruption, so I'm upgrading this warrior. I draw a war and another colonization card, which is good, also a territory. Wanderlust seeds, it's the immigration, and he gets an extra population. And then takes Rev ID, Opera, and Cannon. And also builds another unit. But both of these events are mine, so I know they're not strength events. Actually, I just remembered it's popularization of science and immigration. Now that I said the immigration, it's triggered the knowledge that the other one is immigration. Then I can seed Cold War, this is probably, or developed territory. I have plenty of science, so I don't really want to put the 6 science event in. Of course, developed territory also gives science, but I have the navigation, so it's a bit better for me. And yeah, I remembered that he got the immigration, and then the guy who immigrated just apparently was just traveling through the country because he immediately immigrated again. So just statistics in the numbers. Darwin is finally here. I was waiting for him for a while. I go for the journalism research with the normal action because again I am more short on rocks than on science, so I use the Gutenberg activation plus efficient upgrade to upgrade it for just 1 rock, which is very nice. And then I can elect Darwin, going to 8 culture production now. I play the reserves for rocks, and then I have 10 rocks to finish the boat. And then I also play this patriotism 1 that I still have in hand and which would otherwise be discarded to build a warrior. So pretty clean. Could have taken this urban growth, which yeah, spends 1 action for 3 rocks, while playing the patriotism is 1 action for 2 rocks. But I figured I would need some, like I want to spend my rocks on military now first, rather than, for example, upgrading this library or building another one, because I felt it's getting a little bit dangerous if I don't, since I'm on, yeah, I spent all my rocks on the boat now, and I'm on 3 production only, so I felt like I couldn't really afford to spend more rocks on the urban buildings now, and I have to spend a bit on the military. So I felt getting the 2 rocks for military was now more important than the 3 rocks for culture buildings or whatever. Because this also allows me now with the patriotism, I'm able to go for a defensive army, which makes me safe. Popularization of science comes out. It's 1 more point for Wanderlust, but that's okay. and then he takes the architecture for 2, gets to develop it for free with Newton, and builds an opera. So yeah, Newton is giving him a lot of value, of course, but yeah, that was to be expected. At least I have Darwin now, even though he was a little bit late. Let's see, it's the start of H3 now, so maybe have a quick look at the overview. And I think I like my position. That's a lot of wonders, by the way. I'm a little bit ahead in culture, also producing more. We both have a lot of science. He has the rocks advantage, of course, and that's the big downside of my position. I'm only on 3 rock production, but I have a lot of civil actions to pick up yellow cards. And yeah, he has good population. I have the ocean liner, so we're both doing fine in that regard. But I have the bigger government, so overall I think this position is quite nice. Just have to be a bit careful, yeah, for example for wars, because of his rock advantage. And his engineering genius got discarded, so that's kind of nice. I see it international negotiations. Yeah, I can't really see it terrorism, because I'm ahead in culture, and yeah, between the strength events I preferred the negotiations here. And then I'll just spend this turn basically picking all the rocks, even this rich land, which might be useful for an early oil upgrade, but otherwise I can also use it to build an extra farm when I need it, due to consumption issues. The prosperity, by the way, that was just revealed, gave me 1 extra food, which is actually kind of nice because I was on 3 food, so now I can get 1 more population out. I guess otherwise the food would have had to stay there until I got consumption, and then it would be a buffer for that. Now I just get an extra population, which is a bit nicer, but yeah, it will help Wanderlust. Probably it's more important for him because I have the ocean liner, but yeah, still not a bad event. And so yeah, I'll just use that food now and pop and get a free one with the ocean liner. So just picking a lot of rocks here. I think I'm also considering whether I can maybe go for a war. But yeah, it will depend on what Wanderlust does because he has more rocks than me, so or more production. But he could leave himself vulnerable too, so we'll see. This efficient upgrade is very nice for getting another journalism going, or maybe again, if I don't know if it will go for 2 oil upgrades soon, but who knows. But yeah, I just want to have it for the journalism upgrade, and yeah, just took all the rocks basically. I draw impact of progress, also colonization card. I have the autonomous and the developed territory in there, I think. But independence declaration is revealed, and I lose a yellow and a blue token, which is not the worst, but will get me to consumption a bit sooner. Wanderlust gets rifleman and goes to 3 operas now. So he now has a lot of culture production, and he actually spent his rocks now all on operas. And that means he's now only 5 culture behind me and producing more actually, so that's a bit dangerous. But maybe it opens up the possibility of war for me. For now I'll cede the impact of progress. Actually, Wanderlust wins the developed territory. I think I didn't, I think I only bid 1 unit. Let's see, I have a 2 and a 3, so I bid a 2 strength unit and then a 2 and a 3 colonization card. Because I think the next one is autonomous. It's definitely in there, but I think it's the next event. So I didn't want to overbid for this. And Wanderlust gets it for an army, also had a 2 and a 3 defense card. So yeah. I'm now already in consumption because of using the yellow token, but I can use the rich land to build the extra farm. And then I'm taking the multimedia from the 3 civil action part for 2 civil actions thanks to Darwin. Mostly because I don't want Wanderlust to have this early multimedia, even though he can't build one right now, he's short a bit on rocks. I just don't really want him to have it, and it's also nice for myself. Yeah, upgrading these further. I have the science anyway, so and I upgrade the little one to the big one, so skipping the in-between stage at least. And then I take movies, air forces, and engineering genius. EG2 usually not that great to have in H3, but there's the Manhattan, which is the best use for it. Internet and space flight could work, but it's a bit difficult, of course, especially the space flight, because you have to do it before H4. Okay, and yeah, both air forces showed up early. I took these movies as well, just to have some more strength, potential for culture generation, I suppose. Not really sure. And I guess I also kind of want to speed up the game a little bit, because I produce less rocks. I draw Impact of Technology, Impact of Harmony, and War. So that's an interesting draw. Both impacts could be playable, and I have a War option now as well. Unfortunately, the democracy came out and even dropped to 2. I think this was a very crucial tech. He's still on that theocracy, had a lot of science. So yeah, an H3 government is great for him, and especially, of course, the democracy. Well, also had a lot of science, also an H1 government. So I think whoever got this, yeah, has an advantage there, and unfortunately it even falls to 2 civil actions, so I was not happy at all about that. And it even allows him to build a 4th opera, so now he's producing 16 culture, and that's looking dangerous. But on the other hand, he's not taking any, there's no rock yellow available except the EG, which he can't use for military. And I just drew a war, so I have to see if I can go for war. And it turns out, yes, I can. He only has 7 rocks available, so it's fairly predictable what he can do. I know the top event actually is autonomous territory, which can influence things, but we'll get to that in a moment. So I can't use my wave, unfortunately. He remains weaker, and I can't easily activate it. But I can go for 1 cannon, 1 swordsman, reveal the defensive army. And with that I have spent all my military actions. And that puts me at 23. He can get an air force, which gives him 7 strength, so that's only 13. So I was feeling quite good about this war. And yeah, the autonomous territory, I can bid for it with a warrior, and these 2 and 3 defense cards, he already spent some cards, so I can bid 9 for the autonomous, which should be enough that, yeah, maybe he can get it for the full army, but then it won't really help him get more strength, I think. So if he could get it for a warrior, probably he gets more, he can have more out of it, but that should be very unlikely. So yeah, I like this war. Then I'll take Mandela and the pro sports, getting extra action from Darwin, and I'll take this patriotism. Yeah, just to have maybe the option of building an air force later on, in case he gets more strength potential than me at some point, or maybe I can even go for something more myself. We'll see. Think it's just this efficient upgrade was also possible, but I just don't want him to have the patriotism, because that gives him more potential. I think it's good to take the military rocks away now. And this Mandela and pro sports, of course, go well together. I'm not electing Mandela yet because Darwin is producing me 4 culture. 2 culture and a civil action might be worth more, but Darwin can maybe also give me still a civil action by picking a text, so I think it's worth keeping Darwin around. I discarded the H2 war earlier, by the way. And now the autonomous comes out, I can read it for the warrior and just the H2 card actually, and I'll take the rocks with it because I don't have many rocks. Sadly now the military theory comes out, and that gives him a bit more strength potential than I originally planned, because he can now build an extra army instead of an air force, and gets strength from the military theory, of course. And that puts him at 17 instead of, what was it? So basically he would have an air force instead of 4, so that's 1 more, but now he has 5 more, so it's I put him at 17 instead of 13. But yeah, I still win the war at least. Then I see the impact of technology, I think, after the war resolves. Yeah, and yeah, international negotiations comes out. I'll take 3 more rocks with this, which is kind of self-explanatory, I think. And then I'll take the civil service for 1 action. And then yeah, I can research it. I had the code of laws, so it's only +1 action, but the 3 blue tokens are very useful as well, being on bronze mines, because I want to try to build the space flight even. Yeah, I think the space flight is just pretty big here, and yeah, there's the only other wonder left is the internet, which also has potential for him, but wouldn't be that big for me. So I think spaceflight is just important to have here. So I take it, even though it costs me quite a few actions. And there's also the problem of how will I build it. As you see, I'm now, all my rocks are basically here now. And what I think I have to do is build the pro sports to make my workers happy and get a little bit extra out of Mandela. And after building this, I'm now at 7 rocks, but I'm still in corruption. And I have this engineering genius. I think the age won't end before my next turn. So I can actually build 2 steps now. Yeah, get the free pop, of course. But I can build 2 steps. It's not usual that you get out of corruption by building the first 2 steps of the spaceflight, but this is what happens here. Next turn I can use the engineering genius for the 3rd step. And after that I still have 7 rocks here. So I will need 1 more copy of reserves, and that will put me at 11, and I probably will have corruption, I think. So that gives me exactly the 9 rocks I need to build the last step. And there are 2 copies of reserves here, and Wanderlust will probably take them, but there is 1 more copy. And I'm thinking it should be unlikely that he can take both of these for 2 and then maybe another one for 3, but maybe the 3rd copy doesn't come out just yet. So I thought it was reasonably safe that I would get that last copy. Actually draw another war and impact of strength. Wanderlust will develop the cannon, take both copies of reserves. The 3rd one didn't come out, and he takes the Rev ID, and yeah. And then it's my turn. There are 6 cards taken here out of 7, so the game, the age barely doesn't end. There's 1 card remaining in the deck, and that 1 card, I'm showing it now, I'm saying it now, is the reserves. So that's actually very unfortunate. I won't be able to finish the space flight without that reserves. Maybe if I can pull off that plunder, or maybe if this is, for example, economic progress or arms industry, maybe, then I could, but otherwise I won't be able to finish the space flight. So I was also, I should check if I can go for war. And yeah, the answer is, and that's why I post the video here, I can go for war. So I will just show the war then. Because there is here the fundamentalism, although I think I could go for it without fundamentalism as well. But it was actually quite a puzzle to think about how I could actually maximize my strength, because it was a bit tricky, but I think I found a nice way to produce a lot of strength. I start by disbanding a swordsman. This lets me play the wave. Then I go for fundamentalism, play the patriotism. I get another population from the ocean liner, and then I can build a second defensive army. So the Air Force was actually a distraction here, because I got more strength by researching fundamentalism. And then I will also destroy something extra and really maximize my strength output. Yeah, so I won't be able to finish the wonder like this, of course, but unless I left the option open in case I get a plunder off. But I think if I can get a plunder off, it means that he can't defend very well, and then probably I will win regardless, because I steal a lot of culture. So that's maybe not the most relevant, but there are some ways in which I could get extra rocks. So I will actually play this engineering genius. I'm taking the urban growth. It also didn't really matter for like that action. There wasn't really anything much that I could do with it. And yeah, I destroyed the mine, but kept myself at 2 rocks, because I will need to build an extra farm next turn. So that's why I deleted an alchemy. Sadly, deleting the alchemy means I have to go for satellites as my last tech instead of engineering, which I could do if I had the extra lab, which would be better for progress, which I seeded, because the satellites will only upgrade the navigation, while the engineering would upgrade the masonry. But yeah, I had to keep myself at 2 rocks so that I can build another farm next turn. Yeah, and this actually puts me at a quite respectable 50 strength. Also, look at this government. I have 12 civil and 9 military actions. Only 8 because I played the patriotism this turn, but that's quite a big government. So yeah, I think I should have had the democracy maybe, and then I think I only like the Kremlin for extra actions, extra civil actions at least. So I think that's the maximum is 14 then, so I have 12. Yeah, and then looking at his defense, there was an unknown H2 card for start. So this could be economic progress, this could be freedom, arms industry. So there are definitely some possibilities that give him basically 1 free unit. And if we take this into account, then yeah, I think the most he can do is he has 17 rocks. Assuming he gets 1 unit for free, he could basically have 4 cannons and a mechanized army, which the 4 cannons is 12, 2 mechanized armies makes it 32, minus these 2 is 28, so that would put him at 45. And that's if such an event is revealed. But if it's not, and he has the mechanized army, he actually gets pretty close to that, because the 17 rocks let him build 2 cannons and an air force, which yeah, is only 1 strength less than another 2 cannons, so that doesn't matter too much perhaps. And then Wanderlust seeds. And the event doesn't give him extra resources, but it's also a good event for him, although not too critical. I basically lose 2 culture production, so it's not that big of a deal. And then Wanderlust will go for Einstein. And yeah, now the question is what kind of defense can he set up? Destroys all the mines. And then he goes for cannons, so apparently he has the mechanized army. And puts him at 44. And then on my last turn, I could see the impact of strength, but actually impact of harmony is even stronger now that he destroyed all the mines. He left himself with no rock production, so he can't really do anything on the last turn. And yeah, my harmony is currently at 4, so 16 versus 8, but I have an urban growth, so I can make it 20. So the harmony will give me plus 12, which is more than the strength. Impact of progress comes out, which I was hoping wouldn't happen because I will get 2 more points out of this after my turn, but it comes out now. And then I developed satellites, built an extra mine, which I need to get out of consumption, destroy 1 swordsman and build a lab, religion at least. And then I can just take the remaining cards from the row, but that doesn't matter. And yeah, with Wanderlust not having any rocks available, his last turn is also quite is clear. There's also no options for him. He does have an event he can see it, and impact of culture comes out, which is unfortunate. That's the strongest impact for him, I think. Then he can get 1 more tech, and that's it. Right, and then we go to the final impacts. And yeah, so I should have paused before this perhaps. First one is unfortunately impact of science. And yeah, I was 11 culture behind before the impacts, but I have harmony, which is plus 12, and technology in there. But yeah, seeing this one is not great. And then architecture comes out. I could have had 1 more for this if I had built a printing press, but yeah, I couldn't really know. The religion gave me more for variety and happiness, so I think it made sense to build that. And then technology is mine, and that gives me plus 4. And then harmony gives me plus 12 against him, and that puts me at 8 points behind. So unfortunately, it's not over. I'm not qualified for the final yet, or at all. We'll see. But fortunately, I lose this game, and it actually felt pretty. I felt quite good about this game for most of it. So I think it was a bit of a disappointing loss. Him having both culture and science, I think, is unfortunate because I don't think there's really any other impact that he even scores better, like before industry before and agriculture, but yeah, no such big swings. Also felt a bit bad about having impact of strength left over in my hand. If I had seeded harmony instead of technology, then I could have seeded strength on the last turn, which would have given me a plus 10 impact instead of a plus 4 impact, so would have gotten me 6 points closer, but still not enough. But I also don't know if that was like something I could see at the time, because I don't think I even had the second war at the time, so yeah, the fact that he destroyed all the mines, don't know if I could have known that at this point. So yeah, also he had the mechanized army, of course, but yeah, that's I of course got the defensive army with the Great Wall, so that's that is what it is. And so as I said, it means probably you have some other videos to look forward to, so I guess that's the good side of it. But for now, no finals yet, and Wanderlust is now basically one win behind me. So in the two remaining games against Elsifix and Saru, I need to score the same amount of wins as him, basically. And also at least one, otherwise Saru could still overtake me, but yeah. Alright, that's it for now. That's the second video of the day. So, see you next time.